and this program is Coffee with Ori. Today's subject is going to be a little rough because the last subject that we had was about letting go of toxic people. But this subject is more about letting go of people in general. Okay. And while I was doing uh, some meditating and praying the other day, I came across uh, I came across a couple of things that were on my mind. How are you, Ron? And thank you for being here. So I want to read something to you guys out here because there's a lot of people out here that are suffering needlessly, and sometimes we have to let go. And it was the hardest thing for me to do. But I wanna read something to you so that you can probably try to make sense of what's going on in your life, because it's something that I've I I asked spirit angels and guides and God, my angels, and this is what it came out to be. Sometimes in order to let go, we have to go through a great deal of changes. We may ask God over and over to make things right, to make it easier. And sometimes He just makes things even more difficult. It's like kicking you in the ribs. And if He is letting you, with those things, he keeps doing it, almost like letting you know that it's not enough. You haven't been through enough. You have to suffer more because you volunteered this tragedy. Okay. Um, Sometimes we get involved in relationships that we shouldn't be in, and we're blaming the persons that call us out of our names and beat us, when in reality we have chosen that because of fear. Another thing we don't remember is that hurt people. We have to learn to be a vessel of God because it's what we asked to be, and of the universe. And if we really truly want to serve Him, we have to dig deep inside, because sometimes the pain that we carry and not letting go is one-sided. You can't say today you forgive unconditionally and you don't really mean it. We have doors that open up. You have the keys, you have the tools, but yet you choose to stay there, either because you feel sorry, either because you're afraid, either because you feel that you can change the person, or maybe just because you feel like the pain that you're going through, you are deserving of that. Okay. The door to letting go, it is there, but it is up to you to choose whether you stay or whether you keep allowing things to go on. One thing I've learned through this and dealing with a lot of people is that people misunderstand and misinterpret love with lust and with being in love. As far as love is concerned, someone asked me the other day, a good friend of mine, Sadia, asked me, what do I think about love? Like, what do I think that love is? And I said, love is hope. Love is hope. And when you meet someone that is really compatible to you, that's emotional bliss. And that is the real love. You can tell someone a million times you love them, but telling someone you love them doesn't mean that you are in love with them. And there is a big difference. Okay? Love is not supposed to hurt, it's not supposed to sting, it's not supposed to be boastful, it's not supposed to be arrogant. Unconditional love, when you're taking care, it's when you're taking care of yourself and your partner is allowing you to take care of yourself, because he or she is also taking care of themselves. But it takes an understanding, and which is what a lot of people don't have. People say, well, I don't care if he does this, or I don't care if he does that. If it really bothers you, then why do you pretend that it doesn't bother you? Why do you tell someone, like, you're dating someone, well, if you want to date some other girl, you can. I can deal with it. No, you can't deal with it. You can't deal with it. So you have to take care of yourself, and you have to be healed inside, because there are certain secrets that people hold inside, certain pain, and it makes us bitter. And things that happen with family and ex-husbands or ex-wives, and maybe your ex-husband used to beat the shit out of you, and at the end of the day you never said it out loud because you didn't want to either hurt your children, or you didn't want them to think that their father was a monster. At the end of the day, family is the base of everything. And if you can't have family that can protect you, then you have to find a way to protect yourself. Okay? You have to understand that everything in life vanishes. Relationships vanish, things vanish, things die, because that's the nature of things. Okay? There are certain things that torment us, and it is only when you're able to conquer the enemy inside yourself that you can really say that could love, that could love, because we as humans have to be stimulated. Well, basically, all this stuff I write down because it's easier for me to interpret it and to read it. But basically, what it's saying is, family is the most important thing in the world. And if you cannot tell your children things that you've gone through, then who are you going to tell? Sometimes parents know things that happen to their children and they don't speak. And like I said once, and I said it again, and I will say it again and again and again, 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 again. Not all women are meant to be mothers. Now, as humans, we have to be stimulated. And the moment we're not, we just say, okay, peace out. And then we end. We end up staying with the people that stimulate us, but on top of the stimulation, they're beating us and they're yelling at us. They mistreat us. Sometimes, really, although it might seem like it is something that's heartfelt and something that is incredibly inexplicable and unattainable within yourself, you have to understand that God's plan is God's plan. Sometimes God has to humiliate us so that we can use that to build ourselves up. Yes, sometimes He will humiliate you so that He can show you how strong you are to build yourself up again. It's very important to understand, okay? You see, all light dies. The question is, do you die with it? Or do you thrive and continue? And that is the key. Do you die or do you thrive? Because there are women and men who have had everything and have lost everything, and yet they're able to come back to the reality because they didn't die, because they allowed themselves to continue. Okay? They learned to thrive through all the darkness because they never gave up and they never stopped believing that they were important enough to keep moving. Now, you are the master of your own key. Humans can have physical diseases, but the spiritual disease isn't here. This is what torments you. This is what makes you even sicker. This is what brings you down. This is what causes fear. It causes anger, disappointment, sadness, depression, judgment. Every time you judge someone, you're carrying pain and sorrow. Those are my notes. That's what I wrote down. So basically, what it boils down to is this. Okay, there's a lot of things that we carry. It's a lot of pain and sadness that I've carried, and thanks to Ron and thanks to Dr. D, I have learned to use biofeedback and angel angel readings to put me in the order that I need to be. I started to realize many things, and I'm starting to realize even more that more and more and more and more and more these things that have seemed to be important are not that important anymore. And I think that there's a lot of you out there that are suffering and are not finding happiness, would like to be happy, but are not finding happiness with anyone because of the fact that you're still holding on to the pain of the person who hurt you, the person you loved, the person you trusted, and the person who destroyed you inside, made you feel like you were broken. So every time you get involved, it never lasts because technically you're walking around with that karma within yourself, or not even karma, that dharma, which you tell yourself, you know what, I'm a broken doll. And I did that for many years, so I know how that feels. But what I'm talking about is, a person that's broken is not really broken. A person who's fallen, doesn't matter how many times you've fallen, as many times, it counts as many times as you get up. Women who are beat, if you find yourself in a situation where their family, you tell their family and their family don't care, and your family doesn't seem to care, then you know what? Then you need to leave. You can't stay there. Because abuse comes in many ways. And the worst abuse is the mental abuse. And once you're mentally abused, you start to judge people and to criticize them. And that judgment is just a mirror image of your own judgment. So when you start to judge, understand that you're only looking at your reflection. You're not looking at anybody else's reflection except your own. As a spiritualist, I've learned that there are many types of tragedies. And one of the most death-defying tragedies is when you hold on to something and you're holding it and you're holding it and you're holding it and you're not letting it go. It's like a pit bull holding a bone. You don't let it go because it's your safeguard. You created that wall to save you, but in reality, the wall is destroying you. So you have to let go. It's time to let go. It's time to tell the truth and state the facts, or state the facts and tell the truth. If you're holding on to secrets, if you're holding on to things that can cause turmoil inside of you, then you need to basically understand that if you don't let go, you're not going to be happy. You're going to continue this vicious cycle, not just in this lifetime, but in many lifetimes. You will keep coming back, trying to do it better and better and better. So with that being said, I always wondered why there were so many tragedies in my life and why I went through so much. But then I realized by talking to Ron that I chose this life. And I've always known that I chose this life. I know I chose my parents, and because scripture says that God knew you before you were even thought of. So he already know what you were choosing. So we chose this. I chose this. But apparently I must have, according to the reader, I've gone through this in many lifetimes. Wasn't always a boy. As I was a woman, went through a lot. So what I'm trying to say is be the best that you can be as a human being. Be yourself. Be the loving and caring and understanding person that you are. I've met a lot of great women. I've met a lot of great men. I've met a lot of great human beings that walk around so angry all the time and so unhappy, wondering, well, God, when am I going to find the right one for me? Well, you know what? Sometimes God is a little slow. So I think that instead of asking God or your spirit, angels, guides, or even the universe, when are you bringing me someone into my life? I need someone into my life. I think what you need to start asking God is, you're bringing me something that I don't need in my life, or don't bring me something that I don't need. I didn't know what I wanted, but now I know what I wanted. Now I know what I want. So please. And with God and the universe, you have to be specific. You have to be specific about what you want. And I'm sorry, whether it gets graphic or not, you have to talk about the size of the person, what kind of size of the person you want, whether you want muscles, whether you want somebody that's fit, whether you want somebody that has a big, or a small one, or a chubby one, whatever the case may be. You have to be specific about what you want, because it's going out into the universe. The universe listens to everything. The universe is the spider web that connects everything together. It connects us to everything around us. Everything around us is living. I explained that to you before. So everything around us is a vibration. So if you decide that you don't want to participate in this, then don't participate. But the bottom line is that, when you state the facts and you tell the truth does set you free. You have to understand that, we actually live in a shitty world. We really do. We do the best that we can to try to make it as good as we can for ourselves. But every time you turn around, there's always some racist, something going on in the world, and at the end of the day, the frequency, the energy, the vibrations, it's not good. We are living creatures, and we are mandated by vibrations, and we are created by every single strand of things in the world. Everything from the elements of wood, air, fire, gems. We have it all inside of us. Right now we're going through a pandemic, and it's a really hard pandemic. And as sad as it may sound, and as sad as it may seem, it was man-made. It was man-made. And unfortunately, it's very easy for people to point the finger at what country did what. But we as Americans, we forget of how much damage we've done to these people. We came into this country, or let's say the Europeans came into this country, and they were invited and they took it. Same thing with Mexico. The same thing with, when they go to other countries, they're bullies. We're bullies. And we do things, and then we try to help people, and then we take what we need, and then we just leave them for them to survive. And I know that it's political, and I don't really like politics, but it's something that is in my spirit, and my spirit shows me everything that's going on in the world. And trust me, it's not an easy sight. But I will tell you this: the same problems that you think you're going through, there are thousands of women and men that are going through the same exact thing. If you have survived and you have made it this far, then it is time to tell your truth. It is time to sit your children down and say, this is my truth. This is what happened. This is what's going on. And you will notice that your relationship won't get worse. It would actually get better. So you have to really think about what it is that you're going to talk to your children about. And you have to face the music about it, because it's not an easy thing. You have to keep yourself motivated, because motivation brings forward progression. So if you're motivated, then you will progress. Yes, Dr. D, they're right. That is an old saying, says, tell the truth, shame the devil. And it is very true. I know that I spend, since this COVID thing has started, I spend so much time praying and praying and praying and praying and praying. And I feel very blessed that I have the opportunity to pray, that I have the opportunity to pray for the people that I love, the people that I care about, because I have many different families that I care about. And, I have godchildren that I adore. I have my mom and my sisters and my brother, you know. Um, I have nieces and nephews. I have cousins, tons of cousins. And I love them all. And the reality is I pray for them more than I pray for myself, and I pray for them. You're right. I pray for them so that their vibration can rise, because they're always like Debbie Downers, they date someone, and then all of a sudden they start to uh, spread it out, and they start talking and posting about people that about how miserable men are, and how horrible they are to them. And my thing is, I said this before and I repeat it again. You have an intuition. Your intuition is strong. Follow your intuition. When you don't follow it, you fall. And this is what's happening to a lot of people out there. A lot of you out there have been to spiritual readings and have done many things, and I'm one of those people that I've gone to places and people have told me, you're going to do this, you're going to do that, you're going to have this, you're going to have that. Well, guess what? I've been waiting for my knight in shining armor for many, many, many years. And nothing has come to pass. And I realized yeah. And Erica Badu, which I really, really like, she says, you're gonna miss the bus if you don't let go. And the reality is you have to let go. You have to let go, and you have to let God, spirits, angels, guides, the God of your understanding to be the bus and to be the driver. And you have to be the passenger. And you have to be willing to sit down with your children and say, listen, I never explained this to you, but I need to explain some things about what happened and why these things took place. And once you do that, you will realize that it will set you free. And once you're free, you're able to do the things that you have wanted to do, but for some reason or another, you haven't done it. Letting go of people that hurt you, or family that have hurt you. It is a luxury. It's a luxury to let go. It's a luxury that can transcend into much bigger stuff. So you have to start to choose. You have to start to choose, which way we want to go. Because we are not the new millennial kids. We are the people that came before them. And basically, I am an indigo child, and there are many indigo children. And we came now to these new millennials, which are crystal children, and half of them have no clue. Half of them would not know what it is to sit down and read a book without listening to an iPod, without listening to anything. We do. But that's neither here nor there. The key to all of this is this: forgive wholeheartedly, because you can't tell God, I'm here for you. I'm worshiping you. Tell me what to do. Let me be your vessel. And then with the same breath, you're going to be judging and criticizing your neighbor. You're not healing. You're not doing anything. You're not making changes. All you're doing is you're creating chaos for yourself. Nothing more. Chaos. And you have to forgive, and what's really sad is that forgiving wholeheartedly is not just forgiving, it's also letting go. Like letting go and forgetting, because if you don't forget the incident, then you've never really forgiven. And trust and believe when I tell you this. I know what it is to love someone until the day he died. And as much as I loved him, I hated him. And when he died, I felt nothing but freedom. So at the end of the day, we're not different at all. We have the same emotions, the same feelings, the same likes and dislikes. And our blood runs from our body, and our blood is red. We're all the same. I think that it is important that we grasp a little bit of everything that has gone in our life and actually be willing to sit down with someone who cares, who loves you, who's not judging you, and you can explain these things to them. You can break it down so that you can make them feel and understand where you're coming from and what it is that you've been through and why. That's where you begin, because everyone is the same, and we will always be the same, So think about that for a while. Today, well, before we go to commercial, I want to talk to you about, today we're going to be we're going to do the tapping. We're not going to close our eyes. We're going to do breathing. And then we're going to do tapping, but we're also going to do a biofeedback. The music that you'll hear in the background is biofeedback. It is to let go of sorrow. It is for money, and it is for prosperity. And I want you guys to follow me with this because it's very beautiful. And however I tap, wherever I tap, you tap exactly the same way. It is very important that you understand that biofeedback is something that it's modern, but actually it has not been modern because the Buddhists did this for a long time with bowls, the singing bowls. Some music was loud, some wasn't, but it always penetrated through the system. This particular that I found, this particular biofeedback mantra, it's something that helps to better understand who you are inside. Okay, so I see that and thank you guys for being on my show. I mean, I really appreciate it all the people that support me and the people that I know. And I'm only getting better and better, and situations will get better and better. And I hope to be able to dialogue with people and to interact and get to know what your opinions are and what you would like to know. Inquiring minds want to know. So let me know what you feel. It's important. Hi, and welcome. Hello, and welcome back. For you guys that haven't seen, Ron is an angel reader, and he's actually very good, very impressive. His number is in the commercials, or you can go into what do you call that? Dr. D. You can look at her Alchemy Food Network, and should have a number soon. I'll have my number on there for people who want to get read. And also, Dr. D does many things. She does a lot of things for women. She makes her own kombucha. She makes products for the hair, for the body, to correct certain things. Very intelligent, a very amazing human being, and even have some nuts, like, I don't know, kind of nuts that you use to do laundry. You don't even use, it's like using detergent, but you use these nuts that actually make your clothes clean. I don't know. But biofeedback is the way to go. Now, We're going to do tapping. First, we're going to take a deep breath. Okay, we're going to take 3 deep breaths. We're going to breathe in to your nose, and we're going to breathe out. We're going to breathe in, hold it, hold it, hold it, and then we're going to release. We're going to breathe in again. We're going to hold it deep, hold it, and now release slowly. Through this process, I don't want you to close your eyes. I want you to listen, because this biofeedback that I'm going to play you is for love, for abundance, and for health. And basically, it's about clearing things within ourselves that we know, we remember, but we're afraid to talk about it because we're afraid to be judged. We got to let it go. We got to let it go, because if you want to succeed and you want to be the vessel that God created you to be, then you have to be able to let it go. So I will start this music and we will start the tapping. So remember, don't close your eyes. I want you to follow me when I start the tapping. Erect your body, sit up straight, and we're going to start tapping. While listening to this music, just tap. Go a little bit back. Move it more to the center. And tap your forehead. When you do it up here above your eye, you stimulate your eye, but you're also stimulating other chakras. And right here in the center, remember, 2 fingers. Go to your face. Do you want to do both hands? You can. Tap. Tap here. Tap here. Go in the outer motion. Tap. And pull out. Tap. And pull out. Tap inside by your nose and tap and pull out. Go to your temples and consistent. Be consistent. Move down your temples to your cheekbones. Tap your cheekbones. Go by the ear. Fingers. Tap lightly right here in the outer part of the ear. Tap. Let this music fill your body, your mind, your soul, and your spirit so that it can help you let go of all that pain and suffering, so that it can open up your doors to positive energy, financial energy, and emotional stability, and most of all, spiritual stability. Bring it down to behind your ear. Tap. Behind your ear. Tap. Take your two fingers again. Start tapping against the line of your jaw. Tap. Two fingers. Tap. Tap. It's very important that you tap right here. Not here. Here. On this bone here. Tap. All the while looking at this and listening to this. Letting yourself go. Letting go of the sadness and the pain that's keeping you a hostage here. Because what we're forgetting, the most important key element, is that God is not looking for martyrs. God just wants you to be happy. And if you had a tragedy in your life, you have to learn that there are tragedies, and they do happen. Tap. Now you're going to bring your tapping to your here, right, to this part right here. And you're going to tap. But I'm using 4 fingers on both hands. 4 fingers because I want to erect my chest. I want to erect my chest, but I also want to feel what I'm doing. I want to feel going down to my chest and then coming up. Going down to my chest cavity and coming up. And I'm going to go here. Just do it as much as you can. Tap as hard as you can. Tap. I want to go to parts that sometimes bother us and we just keep it to ourselves, but at the end of the day, we're really stressed. So we're going to go back here to the back of our head, and we're going to start to tap. And we're going to go from the middle of your head and the bottom to out towards the ears. So we're going to tap, bring it back, we're going to tap, bring it back, and we're going to tap, we're going to bring it back, tap, the sooner you start to realize that there is no element on this planet that you're not made of is the minute that you will start to live. Tap. Go around the head. Go around the forehead. Tap, tap. By the temples. Tap. By the cheeks. Tap. It's very important that you continue to do these exercises because it is important. Not only is it important to stimulate your cells, it also keeps you young, so you stimulate. But this particular biofeedback, you can stop now. This biofeedback that I am, that it's a meditation, but it's a biofeedback because of the sounds in the background. This manifestation, it's to manifest miracles in your life, to make the pain more subtle, so that you're able to talk about things that you never were able to talk about, and to let them go. And if you listen to this mantra or this biofeedback, and you listen to this every evening before you go to bed, you will see how you will wake up in the morning and you will be feeling really, really great. It's important that we do things for ourselves. Okay. Now, we're going to go back to the subject because we still have some time. We're going to go back to the subject that we hit on. And like I said, sometimes we get angry at the people that hurt us, but we don't know what's hurting them. We don't know what hurt them or what made them be the person that they are. You're welcome. Welcome. Corales, thank you. Ronald, thanks. So sometimes we don't really know what's happening to us. We don't really know. We're so busy worrying about us. Let me rephrase that. We're so busy worrying about us that we stop to think that maybe that person that's beating us is going through something more traumatic than what we ever went through. But we never take the time to try to figure it out, because in my era, we didn't talk about things. You didn't discuss things. You didn't get involved. You didn't say certain things. And although I thought it was kind of stupid, but millennials are not like us. Millennials are crybabies. They'll talk about anything. They'll make sure that you listen and you pay attention. But you guys out here, I come on here, which was Dr. D's. It was Dr. D who pushed me to come and join this network, and she's always been a good friend, and she's helped me a great deal. And like I said, biofeedback is something that's really important, and it has been important for me to heal me. Things that I didn't think that I needed healing in, well, guess what? It's healed me. It has helped me along with a lot of the things that I need. It has given me my self-confidence back. It has given me my mental clarity. It has given me many, many, many things that I needed from within myself. And I just wanted to let you know that, there's so many different things out there. And Dr. D, if you can put your phone number in a banner here so that people can see your phone number, and they can call you to find out about the products that you do sell, the things that you do make. And by the way, she is a doctor of metaphysics. She is also a vegan. She's also a published author, like myself, like John, I think, also. So we are all published authors, and we go through all these things. So this is Cecily's. Uh, that's her WW Dr. Dema. What is it? Whatever it is, it's there anyway. Medical physician, it's there, and her phone number is 818-570-0342. And try it, try it. I guarantee you that if you do the full thing, it's going to take you about a good 2 hours. But once you do it, it will be a challenging experience, because it goes beyond physics. It goes beyond spirituality. It helps you so much in so many things. And then you have Ron, who is an amazing reader, who has clarified things in my life that I was so angry about, and I am no longer angry about, because I started to realize that people are starting to realize and see the angels around me, which I didn't see. But I'm noticing that a lot of spiritual people are seeing them and are making comments on them, and I'm very grateful for that confirmation and that blessing, And yes, Dr. D, through biofeedback, you do release a lot. You will get rid of things that are happening in your body, and even illnesses. Because people that know me, because of being neglecting myself in the past, I suffer from diabetes, and this eye. I've been treating this eye, and I've been getting injections in these eyes, which hurt like hell. But the last time that I went, Dr. D did biofeedback on my eye, and I can swear to you that I went to bed right after I hung up, and I wasn't tired. And I woke up the next day, and there was not 1 inch of pain in my eye. It didn't hurt. It wasn't swollen. The swelling went down. My eyes were red, but then they weren't red. And my body was so relaxed that everything just fell into place. Through the biofeedback, I'm able to keep my sugar level down. And it's not because I'm eating a lot. It's actually because I'm not really eating a lot, but I'm also structuring myself to make these positive changes. So what I say to you is, I'm not telling you to do as I say. I want you to do as you say, and as whatever you're ready to let go of it. Whatever you're willing to talk about it. Whatever you are willing to, that you feel that is self-sacrificing. Yeah, you might have been the sacrificial lamb, because every family has a sacrificial lamb. Every family. There's always one child that is the sacrificial lamb. So you have to get over that. You have to understand the time frame. You have to understand what happened. And if it was too devastating for you to forgive, then it's up to you to let them know the damage that they've done, how you feel, what you're going through, and then again, let it go. Because if you don't let it go, like Erykah Badu says, you will miss the bus. With all being said, we are humans. Oh no, we are spiritual beings having a human experience. It's not the first time we've been here, although there's a lot of people that would challenge that, but the church is always trying to challenge everything. But we are spiritual beings having a human experience, and we are doing the best that we can with what we have to work with. Communication is key. Love is key. Understanding is key. Again, my take on love is hope. And once you conquered hope and everything becomes deliciously wonderful. And that's love. That is love, you know? But yes, although there is, like you said, Dr. D, although there is the black sheep in every family, there's also a sacrificial lamb in every family. Some families get, some women and some boys get raped and molested, and family members know, but you know what, they were the sacrificial lamb, so they don't talk about it, they let it go. It's sad, but it's that era was the 60s, the 70s was not a was good in many ways, but it was not good in many ways. So those people who were married young, and their husbands used to beat them, you know state the facts and tell the truth. Don't hide it anymore. If your husband was an abuser, and he was a drug addict, or if he was something negative, you know, speak on it. Speak on it. Don't be afraid to speak on it. Speak your mind. Let them know how you feel. Let your children know what you went through. Because maybe you weren't able to talk to your parents, or maybe you were not able to talk to your husband's parents, or your wife's parents. But at the end of the day, your children are old enough to understand. And if they are, break it down. Sit down with them and say, listen, I went through this and this and this and this. And whether you cry or not, you're releasing it. And that's what you need to do. Because if you want to find happiness in life, you have to let go of the pain and the sorrow and everything you were put through. Because at the end of the day, if you don't let it go, you will never trust another man. You would have many boyfriends, you would sleep with many men, but you will never have happiness. And it is not up to God to bring you happiness. It is up to you to be willing to sacrifice yourself to bring happiness into your life. And how do you do that? By stating the facts and telling the truth. It's a very important thing. We must keep ourselves focused, because if we don't, we lose ourselves. And there's been too many brothers and sisters that have lost themselves, by suicide, by depression. A lot of brothers and sisters that are in mental institutions, they should not even be there, because they've had awakenings. And because they've had awakenings, they lock them up because they feel that they're a danger to society. They're not a danger to society. God chose them, and God is choosing, He's not choosing the rich. He's choosing people, individual people. And you know that God has chosen you when everything in your life becomes topsy-turvy. And the more you try and the more you do, the more it's going to cause problems. So, I suggest we're going to commercial. So, I suggest that you guys hold on to that, and namaste, and love and light, peace and harmony to all of you. And I look forward to seeing you again on Monday. And whatever subject you want to talk about, write about it. Okay, guys. I'm liking the new commercial. I really am. Anyway, guys, we're going to be on here for another couple of minutes, so just hang on. Thank you all for coming on. Ron, thanks a lot. There's Steven, thank you. I really appreciate it. And I hope I've been helpful to all of you. But like I said, this is the place where we can talk about anything. There's no topic too strong. Uh, there's no topic too silly where we can communicate. Just let me know what you would like for me to talk about, and I guarantee you that I will talk about it, and we can take it from there. It's very important to do this stuff. The tapping is very important. If you want, I can send you all the link to this song, this music that I played. You know, it's not my music. It's just something that's on YouTube, but it is it's really good. I enjoy it a lot. You know, when I use tapping, because it's about bringing prosperity. It's about bringing financial success in your life, and it's about unblocking a lot of the negativity that surrounds you. So keep yourself steady, keep yourself focused, keep yourself moving. Love yourself, because if you don't love yourself, who's going to love you? Keep yourself honest as much as you can. Communicate with your partner, because communication is key to everything. And spread love. Spread love and be who you are. Never change being you. Continue to be you at every moment, at every turning point. Be you. That is the message that I have for you guys. And it is very important that you understand that being yourself is not about changing self. Being yourself means being genuine, being who you are, not to change to comfort someone else, but to be yourself. Let me see here. Okay, now, gotta go. I will speak to you next Monday, guys. Take care.